costs seem to be rising everywhere, but your local electric cooperative is doing something about it. We're investing in new technologies that are improving operations and strengthening reliability. And as part of your electric co-op, you're also part of the solution. You can help by making your home more energy efficient. Together, we have the power to make a difference.
This message brought to you by Cumberland Electric Membership Corporation.
Hi, this is Jonathan with the LaFavor Quartet. You're listening to Middle Tennessee and Southern Kentucky's new home of great gospel music, 7 days a week. WSGI AM 1100 Springfield, God's Informer.
For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans for welfare and not for evil, to give you a future.
One street over there's a life I could have known, one beyond my wildest dreams. Maybe that road could have carried me to streets of gold, but things aren't always as they seem. Looking back on all the chances that I missed, some I held, some slipped away. One street over where my memories exist, I wondered what would change, I really couldn't say. In this life there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing, I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I could have known, that would have kept me from the one I have today.
Hello, hello, hello. This is 1100 WSGI. I'm Neutral LaVern, and yeah, this is one street over. What you doing one street over from where you living? We're living right here in Robertson County, and it is fall break for our kiddos. Laci Bu's in the house with me, and you're sleeping in that are in school. Did
Yes,
your daughter graduate?
She did.
She did, yeah.
Yeah.
Where is she now?
She was going to Vol State for a little while, but she's recently decided she wants to be in real estate.
Fun.
Yes.
Fun.
She's
Well,
got a
good
few
luck
friends
with
she's
her.
been hanging out with that are speaking it into her.
Okay.
She's excited.
Okay, well, very good.
Yep.
She's just such a sweet girl. Oh, my
She
gosh.
is.
Just
She's
love
so
her.
fun.
But Laci is here, and Laci, I found out, is helping promote the Christmas sampler this year.
I know.
And I'm just like, oh my gosh, you're just into everything because you're with. You tell them who you're with now. You're
So
working
now I'm working at Gateway Printing Center in
Okay.
Springfield, a local print shop. We do everything from large format to business services to some invitations. We really want to help partner with local businesses.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite part and the reason I couldn't say no to this opportunity was they get 50% off to all nonprofits, churches, and schools
Oh, wow.
in anything that they need printed.
Oh, that's cool.
So
That's
yeah,
very
we've
cool.
done a lot of senior banners. It's really fun being able to create those for schools,
Yeah.
but also know that we're helping them with their overall budget by giving them
Gotcha.
that kind of discount.
I love
Yeah,
it.
I love it.
I love it. Well,
Yeah.
very good. And of course, you know, super mom and all the things, and
so sweet.
you just look wonderful. So
Thank
glad
you.
to see you.
It's so glad to be here. I'm so glad to be here.
Well, you know, and I was so surprised when you told me you were involved with the Christmas sampler because I thought, well, you know, usually that's some of the older ladies.
It is the older ladies, but one of the most recent women's clubs that have joined it, they've been doing that for a couple of years, is the Robertson County Career Women.
Okay.
And that club is full of really close friends of mine.
Okay.
I was invited last year and unfortunately did not have I didn't have any time to be able to do it.
I hear you.
So when invitations open this year, if they invite me back, I plan on joining. But I'm still happy to help them because they're my friends too. And I love the sampler.
I do too.
Who doesn't?
You were telling me you remember going when you were a kiddo.
Yes, elementary school. I remember going with my friends with their moms.
Oh, fun.
And we did it up until middle school because, you know, when we got in high school, we were too cool to do stuff like that.
Of course, with your
I
mom. Are you
know.
kidding me? We're not going to go to that.
Right?
I love it because it's one of those events that you get to go and you get to see everybody.
Yes.
Yeah, everybody in town's there. It's so funny when I go in, I spend more time visiting than I do shopping.
Right?
You know, from booth to booth. It's like, oh hi, how are you doing? What's going on? Da, 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 you know, all those kinds of things. So it's that kind of event.
Hundreds of booths, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yep, this year, hundreds of booths. And I'd asked you if you knew the history of it. When they asked me to do it, I said, okay, well, give me all your favorite bullet points. So
Yeah.
I got sucked into the history of it.
Yeah.
My favorite part, not that I'm not here for the guys, but Molly Glenn herself actually purchased the original property.
Okay.
So, yeah, back
I
in
did
those
not know that.
back in those days, that was a little unheard of. In 1902,
Huh.
she bought it herself and then tore down the house that was there, and the Glen that stands now is the house that she had built.
Okay, and it is beautiful.
Right?
It is beautiful, and if you don't know about the Glen, it is the meeting place for all the women's clubs in town, and there's a bunches of them. Do you
Yeah.
have like a list?
I do have a list.
Okay.
So there's several. There's the Daughters of the American Colonists, the Daughters of American Revolution, Robertson County Career Women. These are the women who invited me and asked me to do this for them. The Short Story Club, Springfield Music Study Club, the Century Club, Wednesday Study Club, and Women's Enrichment Club. Those exist right now.
Yeah, and I've been familiar with it. Of course, Amy Corbin's my dear friend. I haven't seen her. God, I've got to go out there and visit her. But I think she's with the Career Women's, isn't she? Isn't Amy with Career?
I don't have a list of
forget.
who,
I just
of the
know
current
she
members.
has one of her clubs,
Yeah.
club, and I think it's the Career Women that she's with. But I forget. But she has been in here many times to talk about it, and just it is a staple in this area. How many years have we been doing the sampler? It's up now. Bill Jones he sent me a thing last night. He goes, "I'm going to work on a history of it," and I was going to say, "We may have it right here, Bill."
We have it because I called them and I said, okay, I know what she's going to ask and I want all the answers. I do not want to not know an answer. So the first sampler was November 3rd, 1979.
Oh wow!
Yes.
I was a junior in high school.
Mm-hmm.
That
Right?
brings back in Graves County, Kentucky.
How wonderful, though, that generation after generation has kept this women's.
I think it is too.
Yeah. Kept it going. It was originally a library.
Oh,
And-
really?
Yep. It was her intentions for it were for it to be. Hold on, I'll just read it.
Okay.
In 1902, Miss Molly Glenn herself purchased a house and a lot on the corner of 5th Avenue and Walnut Street from Eliza Jane Gilbert. The old house was torn down and the present two-story brick residence was constructed. In 1946, the Glenn home was left for a library and clubhouse by Miss Glenn. Excerpts from her will explaining the reasons were, the interest I have in the splendid work of the Short Story Club in establishing a library and Mr. Glenn's devoted loyalty to Springfield prompts this gift.
Huh. So she passed in 46? Is that what it's saying?
Yes.
So in 46? Wow.
He passed in 1930, and they've kept her wishes for this historic home. It is for the use of any worthwhile club in Springfield. Wednesday Study Club, BMPW Club, Music Club, Garden Club, and any other club which trustees may improve.
Okay. I
love
love it.
that. Me
I
too.
love it. That's great.
Me too.
But here's the thing. Whenever you do anything like that, if you give something, there's got to be a way for it to sustain itself. And that's what
The sampler.
sampler is all about, is to sustain this property for all these clubs to continue her wishes. And it seems to do so beautifully.
I think so too. Hundreds of vendors. As an event coordinator myself, one of the things I've heard about it is how expensive the booth rental fees are. But knowing that those booth rental fees help the maintenance of this home and help these clubs be able to continue, I think is wonderful.
Well, and I'll tell you, just try to get a booth there if you're a crafty person, because they sell out. So they may be pricey, but you know what? You float with what the market will handle. And so for the sampler, the market is that people are willing to pay those pricey booth prices to have that slot. More power to them.
So January 2026, the new applications will open, but the booths are usually filled by March or April.
So
Yeah.
they may be pricey, but there's somebody, if you decide it's too pricey, there's somebody waiting to
And
take
it's the
your
most fair
slot.
process. I don't know how they do it,
Yeah.
but there is no who you know.
No.
If you're not in there and you don't beat the deadline, you do not get into the
You
sampler.
do not get into it. No, you do
Yeah,
not.
I love that.
There's been a couple of times in my life where I've gotten kind of crafty and I thought, I'm going to sell this. And I'm like, And I'm not very good at it. It's kind of like my whole idea of like, we're going to be a venue. No, we're not. Because people still call me. They're like, I thought you were going to be a venue. It's like, we changed our mind. I woke up.
No,
No, that's not what I
It
need
is
to do.
hard. It is dedication and
You have to have a calling for it. The people at the Pulleys over at Fiddledy Farms, I've gotten to know Craig, and it just to listen to him talk about all that they have to do for that. I'm like, I'm so glad I didn't.
It's the liability alone that scares me.
Well, more than anything, you've got to have a passion for the things you do.
Yeah.
You know, we were talking about photography.
Right.
You know, I love photography, but there's so many things I love more. And so I want to do photography, but I don't want to. I want to do it really well or not at all.
So didn't the venue and the photography come a little bit after or before the school came?
Yeah.
Because you became very passionate about the school.
Yeah, and that's one thing. I absolutely love teaching.
Yeah.
And it's so funny when you go full circle because this is what I started out as a major in college. I was a teaching major when I started college in 1980 at Freed-Hardeman University, and then got bit by the radio bug. And I don't have any regrets there. I love radio, but I love teaching so much. I love being around the kids. So you know, I still want the photography thing to do. And I don't mean to go down this well, but I think
You're fine.
I think Laci and I both are one of those people that we're always looking to where the Lord's leading us. And it's like, is this something you want me to do? And sometimes you go, yeah. And it's like, no, you know.
Yes.
So I love that. But I don't know how I got off on that track. But anyway, that's just what she and I were talking about when we sat down.
That's
we're
just
talking
what
about
happens.
the Christmas
It's
sample.
what happens.
Well, and we're talking about the things that people are passionate about. I know how I got down this rabbit hole is because I would do these things and I think, oh, this is what I need to do. And I'd try to get a booth at the Christmas sample and they're like, well, you should have talked to us 6 months ago. You know,
Oh, right,
you
yeah.
don't get them at the last minute.
No.
But nonetheless, I love to try to find the trail when I find myself down some rabbit hole and I'm like, how did I get here? But anyway, so talk to me
love
about
it.
the specifics of the Christmas sampler.
So
When is it? It's always the first weekend. It's always the first weekend, isn't it?
Yes, I'm gonna
Yeah.
pull it up right now because
In
I do not want
November.
to.
First weekend in November.
They still have those original hand painted signs.
I know.
I love that.
They're fun.
So, if you go on their Facebook page, they've got an amazing Facebook page.
Yes.
This year's Christmas samplers, November 7th, 2025, 4 o'clock to 8 p.m. November 8th, 2025, 8:30 to 4 p.m. Ticket prices. That would be a good one to know, wouldn't
You know,
it?
why I say it was the first weekend. It's the first full weekend. So it's got to be a Friday and a Saturday combined. And so since Halloween is on Friday and then November 1st, that means it's the 7th and the 8th. It's got to be the first full weekend, a Friday and a Saturday in November, I think is kind of the rule on it, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Because we're not going to have it on Halloween, for heaven's sakes. And Halloween is, I mean, it somebody said something about the sampler, and I'm like, it's in a couple of weeks. They're like, no, it's not. I'm like, yeah, it is.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it is.
If you go through their Facebook page, they've featured every single artisan
cool.
and vendor so far that they have. Every day it looks like that they've got jewelry, artisan, bakeries, lots of screen printing, lots of all of your holiday wear that you could get.
You bet.
Go ahead and
Everything you need for Christmas.
everything you need for Christmas, all the gifts. The Roberts County Historical Society will be set up there, and that's the other thing is a lot of the nonprofits, the organizations that we have will be there.
Oh, yeah.
The Roberts County Historical Society has the best gift shop, so they'll have all their gifts there.
And that's just, if you've got kids that grew up here like I do, and you're like, what am I going to get them for Christmas? You need to go to the Historical Society gift shop and go to the, because I'm telling you, great gift ideas, fabulous gift ideas. And
Yes.
It's just the best.
I know that they carry the barns now.
Oh, yeah. The
The-
smoking barns.
Yes.
They're adorable.
I'm looking for ticket prices. I wonder if one of the RCC women will message me real quick.
There's usually a ticket price. You can get the one ticket on Friday, and it's good for both days, or you can just get the single ticket price on Saturday, and I can't remember how much they are. But and I want to get you to come back in before.
Okay, yeah,
If you want
definitely.
to.
Absolutely.
This just worked out because we can kind of just remind people, hey, it's coming up. But because we got Halloween and all the things, I think we need to do it. I think that first week of November, right before it happens, we need to get you back in.
I got it.
If you're up for that.
Absolutely, I'm
So,
up for
yeah.
it. So tickets are only $10 on Friday night, which allows free admittance on Saturday. So Saturday, oh no, it doesn't. Yes, if you buy your ticket on Friday, then you get in for free on Saturday.
Okay.
That's girl math. Saturday is $5. That's girl math.
You're so funny. So, but the thing is, too, you want to get in there on Friday because you get a sneak peek. I mean, well, it's not really a sneak peek. You get it
First dibs.
first dibs. That's,
There we
that's
go.
the thing. That's the thing. Because I know that there's always a scrambling for cinnamon bread and different ones. I forget who there's a cinnamon bread that everybody wants that they come in and wrestle for. That's one thing. There's some baked goods that they have that are just fabulous that you're going to want to get. You can get them now and throw them in the freezer, and they'll be perfect for your holiday table.
Christmas ornaments. Everybody wants to
Oh,
purchase
yeah.
those. So we've got Lewis Pottery and Glass. Everyone knows that I am a sucker for a good artisan vendor, and they're one of my favorites. They make the cute Christmas gnomes. And then
Oh,
you can
fun.
personalize them. You have your whole family gnome.
Oh, I love
know.
it. They're so
Aren't they
cute. Oh my gosh, yeah.
Right?
I love this stuff. I love it. I love it. I love it. All those little, they're adorable.
Aren't they?
Yes, I love it. That is so cute.
I had a local artist friend who lived here. She lived in Clarksville, and she made the gnomes. She moved to Florida, so that's actually the first time I've seen them since.
Yeah. So that's so cute. But there's just all kinds of wonderful things that you're going to find. Again, it's just a great opportunity, too, to come in and just visit with everybody, see everybody in town. Again, what we were saying, if you wanted a booth, well, you got to get on that. And we'll just remind you, if you want to have a booth at the sampler, you need to reach out to them first of the year because they will be gone. Those will open up in January, and you have to get on that super quick or you won't get a chance to get one.
Here's a cool post. It takes 120 volunteers, 1,400 volunteer hours, and 10 months to host the sampler event.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow, I see that. And I'm sure that I know that the city, because, it's held at the center each year. It's held at the center in Springfield. And if you've ever worked with the center, ever held an event at the center, those guys make it fabulous. Terry Martin is a dream to work with. When it comes to big events like this, the center is not ever going to be a problem. They're going to help you with anything that goes wrong.
Yeah, and they are just, it is going to be a wonderful event. It is going to be a wonderful event. We hope you'll come out. But remember, we've got Halloween is on Friday night, and then November 1st, so it's not that very first Saturday. It is the second Saturday this year because Halloween is on Friday night. So it will be the 7th and the 8th of November. That gives you kind of a chance. It almost seems to sneak up on me. So you got a little bit more time to get there,
Right?
So make your plans. But you're going to want to plan now to be there Friday night, be there Saturday. A $10 ticket on Friday night will get you in both days, so you can get dibs on all the things that you want on Friday night.
Do all the trunk or treating. There's 55 in Robertson County probably. Trunk or treating. Take them all of October. That way you can leave them home with Dad that first weekend in November because you did your part and this is for you.
That's right.
Yes.
I love it. I love it. So that's a good bargain.
I know.
Listen,
I can manipulate a family.
Spoken like the woman of how old is he?
5.
Oh my goodness.
And 16 and 18.
Oh my goodness.
I know.
Yeah, you got a handful.
I know. I told Maddie 10 years from now, whenever she has a grandbaby, I'll get to see how you feel and turn everything down and just spend time with my family. Like, I'm looking forward to that. It's crazy to think that that's the next part of our life.
It will come before you know it.
10 years.
Yeah, 10 years. Well, it'll be about right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Be about right. Yep. But that's when I started having kids when I was 28. So that's good. Yeah, that's about right.
I'm speaking it into her. We'll have it, especially it's a little bit harder for these young adults right now. So I'm hoping that it's as easy for them as they can make it.
So does she have a beau? Does she have somebody that
Ooh,
she's dating?
Yes. I mean, they've been best friends. I better not say any names.
Yeah, you'll
might
get in
get
trouble. You start speculating on your children's love life, you get in trouble really fast.
Well, he's been in her life since middle school.
Oh,
They
wow.
became best friends immediately. And if she ever does anything that, he just texts me. He'll just let me know. Maddie, I heard what happened last night.
Uh-oh.
She's like, I swear. I love it, though.
I love it.
I love
That's
it.
really cute.
I
That's
feel like
so
it's
sweet.
kind of a Boy Meets World type thing.
Yeah.
She'll just roll her eyes. I'm going to have her listen to this.
Oh, she's going to get you. I love
I
it.
know
Well, she's
it.
adorable, and I know she's got a beautiful future ahead of her. And yeah, before you know it, you'll have, and time does fly. You think about when in 10 years, I'll be 72. Oh. That'd be crazy.
18 years flew by. I still
Yeah.
can't believe I have a whole adult as a child.
Yeah. isn't
I
that cool,
know.
though?
It's
But-
so fun.
Well, you wait until you have them that are in their 30s, kids that are in their 30s. So.
See, I don't take her to the sampler.
Mm-hmm.
We would not make it 5 booths without her spending all the money.
Oh, how funny.
It's what is that? The painted something in Rivergate now that is just that whole used to be where the shoe place was.
I'm
Right
not
off of
familiar.
Conference Drive. The painted, I cannot believe. Anyway, it's just a booth of all boutiques.
Oh.
Any woman or man who owns a boutique, it is there. Artisan clothing. So it's like the
Really?
sampler, but it's not seasonal. It's not a
Okay,
holiday.
It's just, yeah.
It's all the time. Took
Yeah.
her there one time and never again.
Oh, how funny.
Never again.
How funny. I love it.
So that's another reason to go by yourself with a group of friends, have coffee
So
somewhere.
you can spend your own money
So
and
you
not
can-
let your children spend it.
Yes.
Because they'll find tons of stuff to spend.
Absolutely.
And what kind of food are they going to have? Are they going to have some food vendors?
You know,
They always do, but I'm just wondering. And I know that there'll be sometimes there's music and different things like that.
they give away a free quilt. I think
Oh,
that
yeah.
quilt happens
quilt
every
is the
year.
big deal. Yeah, you get to register for the quilt.
Yeah.
What's the story on the quilt? Did they tell you anything?
I
about the
haven't seen
quilt?
it released yet. I just
Okay.
went through all of their stuff.
Okay, so the quilt is always a big deal, but when you go into the sampler, you come in those main doors, and you're immediately going to turn usually to the right and go down through where they have the baked goods, and they'll have a place for you to register for the quilt. They'll give you a ticket that you'll fill out, and you go down to the end and you'll register for the quilt, and then you go in and you hit the main floor. You go upstairs. There's 2 floors of stuff, guys. You will be there for a while, and you will have so much fun. You'll get so many great ideas for Christmas, so many great Christmas gifts. It is such a fun time, and more than anything, you're supporting the clubs, and you're supporting keeping our beautiful, beautiful club venue alive. The Glen, and I just love it. I remember when I first got here, and they were talking about the Glen this and the Glen that. I'm like, what in the world is the Glen? And
I know.
it's so fun. But you want to be a part of it. The Christmas sampler coming up. We'll get Laci to come in again before it happens, but put it on your calendar. It's the 7th and the 8th of November. It's gonna
Perfect
happen
way to
at
get in the
center.
spirit.
Yes, it is. It is absolutely the best way to get going for the Christmas spirit. And as you get ready for Thanksgiving and all the things, it's just gonna get your holiday joy going, and it is a really good time. What are we missing? Anything that we're missing on this? You think?
I don't think so. I looked at your food vendors. I know that there's going to be popping in the city a brand new vendor, the Christmas Sampler. They're going to have all the holiday seasoned popcorns.
Oh, fun!
There's multiple coffee vendors,
Mm-hmm.
home honey, bakery, sourdoughs and sweets. It looks like go hungry, snack all day.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
I'm
There's
a popcorn fiend. When you talk to me about the different popcorns, I love all that fun popcorn. That's one of my favorite things.
hand painted. The hand painted ornaments get me.
Oh, I know. Those are so cool. Those
You have
are
your
so
one
cool.
made for your puppy.
Oh, that is so cute. That is so neat. I mean, just all the beautiful things to get, and the saw blades and all those little nostalgic things. But the little hand painted puppy ornaments are adorable.
And
That
just-
is so cute.
And thinking about all the hard work that went into each of these booths.
Mhm.
So whenever you're going and you're showing up, the $5 or $10 may not seem like a lot, but when you're supporting these vendors who did plan a year and ahead
bet.
to prepare for the sampler, and you save some of your Christmas money to spend with them, that makes a huge impact on the community. And
really
that's money
does.
that's created right here in town.
You better believe it. And the I guarantee you, they're working like crazy right now, still putting stuff together for it. You
Like
know
we were
they
talking
are.
about, that's
Yeah.
their passion. That's
Yeah,
what they're
for
most
sure.
passionate about.
That is true. But I love it. But we have got to now. They'll usually when we the week of tell them we need some tickets to give away. They usually give us some tickets to give away.
You got it. I'll tell them.
Yeah, but we'll have you come back in the week of the Christmas sampler.
And we'll give away
and-
some
and we'll
tickets
give
right
away
here on
some
the
tickets.
show.
Yeah, but that's usually what we do, and we have them at will call, something like that. But they're just
fun.
if you want to get an idea, I'll look at that popcorn. Oh, that looks so
know.
good.
I love their
Popping
Facebook
in
page.
the
Go like the
city.
Facebook page on the
Okay.
Christmas Sampler. Just
Yeah.
search it and like it because it is full. They've done a really awesome job
Mm-hmm.
of promoting each vendor that's going to be there. I think I'm a little more excited after just going through him.
Yeah, when you go through and start looking at all the vendors, but that's the best way to know what you're getting. I mean, the jewelry, the handmade jewelry, the baked goods,
You could
all the
probably finish your
things.
Christmas shopping.
You really easily could.
There's
I
a
mean,
saw blade for men that was hand painted with the Robertson County barn on it. I
I
thought
love
that
it.
was an awesome gift for a
That is
man.
that is really great. But just all kinds of beautiful stuff. You're going to want to go and take care of your Christmas list, guys. And it's going to be a good time. Get a chance to go out and visit with everybody. All kinds of fun, festive clothes and shoes and hats and. Man, there's all kinds of beautiful stuff. But you go through the vendor page, the Christmas Sampler, go to their Facebook page, follow them, and stay up to date. And we will hit them up for a set of tickets the week of, and we'll get Laci back in here.
I wonder how many tickets I could get from them. If I'm doing it again, I'm
Just
like,
a couple.
how about a whole group? That way you can invite people that have never been before. I think that would be good.
Work on them. See what
I'll
they
work on
say.
them.
Work on them. See what they say, and we'll give away some tickets the week of the show. But I'm so glad you came in.
I'm so glad to
I
be
mean, and
here.
here they're already going. They talk about the wait list for the.
It started in September.
Isn't that funny?
People were being waitlisted before September.
That's hysterical. I
That's-
love it.
I love when a
Christmas
reputation.
Christmas
Yeah.
sampler coming up, guys. You want to be a part of it. Coming up the 7th and the 8th of November. And we will see you there, and we'll see you the week of the
I'm
show.
so glad I got to
All
be
right.
here.
Absolutely.
Have a good day.
You too, darling. I saw Judge Perry come in. We got to talk recovery court graduation because it's coming up this week and on Thursday. But while he's making his way in, we're going to talk about Barry and Rebecca Richards with Exit Prime Realty. I was messaging Barry last night, and I said, hey, Barry, I need to have some help with the recovery court graduation. I need somebody to come in and help me take pictures. And you know what? Tom Beasley's going to help me. Come take pictures. So you're off the hook, Barry, but he's so kind, and he's just who you call. And he's the one that you reach out to when you need a little extra help with stuff like that, because he's an expert at photography and videography and doing drone footage and doing walkthrough tours on everything. I guarantee you they'll be at the Chili Challenge coming up next week, because he does the videos for the Open Door Pregnancy and Resource Center. So I tell you, everything that you need from real estate, if you need some help in the community, you reach out to Barry and Rebecca, and they're going to do everything they can to help you. They are Cross Plainians. They've been there for 30 years. They celebrated that by giving a smart card to the police station there. And everybody's been talking about that. It's so funny when I mention them. They're like, did you see that car they gave to the police chief? And I think that is and it's such a fun way to promote their city and everything Cross Plains. Just like me, they're transplants from Kentucky, but we've been here 30 plus years now. So this is home. We're not going anywhere. And Barry and Rebecca will tell you that if you've got anything you want to do in Robertson County, that's what they specialize in. But they also buy and sell in the surrounding counties and across the state line in Kentucky. If you want to be a realtor, they would love to mentor you and help you into the real estate game. When Rebecca decided to go with real estate, she wanted to make sure that she had everything she needed, and she went in with Exit. They had everything she needed to succeed. She is one of the first in the area to be a seniors real estate specialist. So if you're older and you're wanting to downsize, want to do something different, she is an expert at making sure everything happens the way it needs to. They put up a property on her social media page. There's a 3,000 plus square foot home with a workshop, 5 acres, and a creek. Oh my goodness, absolutely beautiful piece of property. If you're interested in that, go to their social media pages and just stay up to date on all the different homes that they have available that are listed. If you've got a particular area you want to buy in, you can give them a zip code. You can say, hey, this is an area that I'm interested in, and they'll keep an eye on it for you. Best time to buy, best time to sell right now, because if interest prices are high, housing prices are low, interest prices go down, housing prices go up. So it's always a great time to buy or sell. Barry and Rebecca Richards, Exit Prime Realty. If you want to reach out to them, go to 615-504-7425, 615-504-7425, or go to sellwithbecky.com, sellwithbecky.com, or buy BUYRobertsCounty.com, and let them know U-Turn sent you. Judge Perry's in the house. Where are the girls? Are they sleeping in today?
No, I just got a text from Megan Williamson, our director, and she is stuck in traffic. She's on
Okay.
the way.
Okay.
Vietnam Veterans Parkway, she said, was not cooperative this morning.
That's okay.
So, but she's
That's
on her
okay.
way, and she should get here at some point.
At some
so,
point, yeah. So that's good. Recovery court graduation, one of my favorite things, because I just love to see these new lives just getting a new chance, and we're going to graduate. How many graduates do we have
we got
Thursday?
4 this time.
4 of them.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
very good. Well, and you heard me mention my son's wedding is next week. And so
Oh.
I was soliciting some help because I've tried to take pictures and stuff, and I just haven't done a lot
Fall
of
weddings,
photography.
that's becoming a thing,
I got married in the fall. I
which
got married in
is
November.
which is inconsistent with SEC football season. So they.
There was I think it was Rubio was in a cabinet meeting and just cracked everybody up when he said, I think we need a what is it, a presidential
Executive order
about people having weddings during football season.
Yeah, it's
It was so funny.
It's tough on a lot of folks.
That's
They have to go to the
hysterical.
wedding with their phone and watching their games.
That's funny. So
yeah.
I could care less about football. I'm just like, My husband and I, we accidentally got a subscription to NFL Sunday Ticket. YouTube, you guys are jerks. I'm just telling you. Because you can't talk to anybody. It's like we were trying, he wanted to see a Packers game last year.
Right.
And so we tried to do this like trial thing
Right.
and then we didn't even still get the game. And so I thought I canceled it.
Right.
Well, apparently not. And then, so about a month ago, I get a $500 bill.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's how much a Sunday Ticket is for the season. And I'm like, I didn't want this. I thought I canceled it. Cannot get a hold of anybody to cancel it. I will never buy another thing from you, YouTube. And of course, here I am. We've got our show that ILU is going to be like, shut up, LaVern. We have the
'Cause it's
show
on
going
YouTube.
on YouTube.
I
But
haven't-
anyway, I was like,
I haven't cared about the NFL.
Yeah.
Tells you how old I am. I haven't cared about the NFL since the Baltimore Colts traded Johnny Unitas to the San Diego Chargers in 1973, and it broke my heart.
Aw.
Because me and all my buddies, we were Baltimore Colts
Yeah.
and Johnny Unitas fans. So, but college football.
college football.
Being a Vanderbilt graduate, we haven't really cared much about college football until lately. So
Okay.
it's
Fun stuff.
our lot is improving.
There
so.
you go. Well, we're Packer fans, so because my husband's from up yonder.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, we digress. So I have my son's wedding is next Thursday night. So I'll be off Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday next week because we got to go to Huntsville because he works down there and him and his bride are in Huntsville, and so I've solicited some help with photography. I've got Tom Beasley, who is the photography teacher at White House Heritage, is going to come and take pics.
Okay.
And so I'm like, thank you. Got one thing off my plate, but I'll be there, of course. I have to be there,
Right.
just to sit there and cheer them on. It's just wonderful. It's just such a blessing to see everything. I love it so much.
It's nice to see folks that when they come in on the front end and they're a mess, and to see them as they progress through, and oftentimes it takes a little while for them to get buy-in. They sort of fake it till you make it idea. But once that light clicks on and they've bought in and they get to this point, it's really nice to see.
I know it is. And we just, can't say enough, too, about just drawing the attention into the fact that we all know somebody that's been through this.
Yeah.
And part of me says, okay, we only have 4 graduates. Is that because we're getting ahead of this opioid thing? We're getting ahead of this? Are we starting to see that? I think that's a legitimate question. Since we started Recovery Court, are you seeing that maybe we're getting a handle on it as a society and it's not quite the problem it was? Or do you think we're getting better? From a judge perspective, or are we gaining some ground on this?
Well, there is more treatment now than ever.
Yeah.
As to opioid deaths, they're still pretty high. It changes. When we first started Recovery Court, it was the opioids, the prescription opioids.
Right.
That we would say Oxycontin, oxycodone, the pill mills, those types of things. And there's been a lot of legislation over the past few years that have helped with that. Now what it is the fentanyl, that's being brought in, the methamphetamine, those types of things. Those are the things that we see more of. Like I said, there's more treatment, there's more knowledge about it, and there's more opportunity for treatment. So in that respect, I think we're gaining ground, but there's still a lot of lot of addiction, and folks that are on the front end of their addiction, it doesn't matter. They're going to use whatever it takes to deal with whatever hurt they have or issues they have. So sometimes it goes back and forth, but the fact that we have more treatment available, and it's not sort of like swept under the rug by a lot of folks. When we first started Recovery Court back in 2014, I really wondered, and Judge Glover, we started the training under him, and some of us really wondered how Recovery Court would be accepted in Robertson County. And to my surprise, it was really an easy sell because, like you said, everybody knows somebody.
Yeah.
There's either somebody in your church or somebody in your family or somebody, some employee or some employee's kid. And because of that, people say, yeah, we understand that this is a real issue. And that's why we've had so many churches that have gotten involved in recovery programs. It's just, that's a blessing. I mean, that's nice to see.
That's the thing with Celebrate Recovery. The things that I've seen being affiliated with Celebrate Recovery it blew my mind. It blew my mind. Honestly, that's probably what drew my attention to it. And Ace Timbermeyer was the first person. She invited me to come to a Celebrate Recovery event, and that's just what it blew my mind.
Yeah.
Seeing I'll still say it. Thea put together this remembrance ceremony where you see the people who didn't make it, and we hear those stories all the time. I have several people that I've shared images with that I knew well,
right,
that didn't make it, and kids of friends of mine,
right,
and that just break my heart when I see those images. A sister of a good friend of mine that we shared images of, and when you're sitting there and you watch that and you see those, that's the first time I saw that, and just seeing faces that could be my uncle, my dad, my mom, my sister, my brother, my kid, that you just think about people who are lost to addiction, and you have this image, and when you see that it is not what your mind is telling you, it is everyday people that are walking alongside you,
right, yeah,
that are dealing with it. And
nobody grows up, when you're in first grade and your teacher asks you, what do you want to be when you want to grow up? Nobody says an addict. It's either life circumstances or the environment in which you're raised, and you don't know any better. I grew up in a churched family where we were there, when the lights were on. Not everybody has that.
But even a lot of church families, a kid gets for some reason, they, either it's a peer pressure thing, or
Right.
maybe they have an injury and then they take something and they have this addiction. I don't understand addiction. The only thing I tell people I'm addicted to is jelly beans and food and things like that. I struggle more with those kinds of things. The things that people are addicted to that end up in your court, I can't imagine, because I can't take pain pills. They make me sick.
Yeah.
I just can't even imagine. But they get highly addicted. I've met people. I had a friend of mine a good friend of mine, and she has passed and probably had something, we lost touch. But I remember conversations I had with her when she was in the throes of it. And I was just like, who are you?
Yeah.
I didn't even recognize her anymore. And it's just, the things that they rationalize. And I'm like, how could you let yourself get to this point? And it's not that they let themselves get there. It is a sickness that is in them that, praise the Lord, I don't have.
Yeah, and when
those things.
I was a prosecutor for years and years, and it's like, you got to put them in jail. They're breaking the law. And then we go to training about how brain chemistry changes when you start using. And although you might want to do right, years ago, I'd been a prosecutor for a little while, had a lady that left her child at the crack house to go seek more drugs. It's like, how in the world do you get to that point? Well, it's because your brain chemistry is such a mess that all you do when you wake up in the morning is seek drugs.
Yeah.
And you can't do anything else. And that's when I first learned about the change in brain chemistry. It's like, well, this makes sense. But it doesn't make sense. but you can understand a little better why folks do that. And you
Right.
really, it takes months for the brain to really start healing after drug use. And that's part of what recovery court's about, is that for the first several months, it's just getting folks used to not, being high, not needing that
using.
drug.
Yeah.
And then for the next several months, it's how to learn to live your life again, because under the throes of addiction, nothing else matters. You don't work a job. You don't keep take care of your kids. You don't, know how to operate a checkbook, all those things. So it's about, first off, getting past the drug use. Second, learning to live your life again. And then hopefully by the time you graduate, you've got those skills that help you, in the long run.
Absolutely. Megan, go ahead and slide that. And Judge, I'll let you grab the one off the ground there.
Okay.
Because it's like when we have just one person in here, we tend to slide a
I was
microphone
gonna
off.
say it
so-
feels different in here.
So, yeah. What's going on,
Good
chick?
morning.
It's sweater weather. She's got her.
Well, it is right now. It won't be this
I know
afternoon.
it won't be this afternoon, but it's okay. We've had so much fun talking about the Saturday Night Live, the sweater weather.
Sweater weather.
Sweater weather.
Sweater weather.
We'll all remember that. And it's like that. And I'm sorry, I'm going to digress and go down a rabbit hole. I will. But anyway, hi, sister. You
Hi.
look so pretty in your pink
Well,
this morning.
thanks.
Sorry you got stuck in traffic.
It's all good.
Yeah.
I figured, was Judge talking about me? I figured he was talking smack.
Nah, that's okay.
He texted
He
me and said,
wouldn't
of course
dare.
you are. Yeah, yeah.
He wouldn't dare. He wouldn't dare.
Yes.
So
Well, good
we're
morning.
excited about graduation
Yeah.
Thursday, and it's my school. They always give me they let me take off and come. They let me get.
But
a
it's fall
sub.
break.
I know. I didn't have to do that this time. And I was telling him I've got a wedding next week, so I'm a little scattered getting
Okay.
ready for that. So Tom Beasley, our photography teacher from White House Heritage, is going to come take pictures.
That's awesome.
I was like, I need just one thing off my plate this week.
I love that.
I was like,
Well,
I won't have time to edit these pictures for 3 weeks.
Ah.
But so he's coming to help with that. And
That is
Barry was going to
awesome.
reach out too and help us, Barry Richards. But I was like, you are relieved of duty, Barry. He's probably going, okay, good. 'Cause he's always got so many things on his plate. But we're just going to, it's just so many people when they understand what recovery court is about and recovery court graduation. It's like, yeah, I want to be a part of that. I
Yeah.
want to come. So who all's volunteering and helping? What are we doing for food this time? I knew she'd know. I didn't figure you'd know. I didn't
Oh,
even ask you.
she sent me notes.
She said you know.
sent me notes.
I didn't even ask you. I was like,
ready.
since I knew Megan was coming, I thought I'll just
know.
wait until she gets here.
no,
I
I was
figured you would
listening. I
know.
was like, well, gosh, Judge, I could have stayed in bed. He did so good.
Okay, so what are we doing?
No, it's Sharon West with Southern
Of
Guys and
course.
Southern. Yeah, I mean, she's the best.
Always.
So she's doing I think it's like a taco bar kind of
Ooh,
thing.
my favorite.
So yeah, it's good stuff. So
good
it'll be
stuff.
good. So yeah, and then of course the center always donates their space. They're so gracious to let us. I mean, that has transformed how graduation looks as opposed to like being in the court. The courtroom is where we have to do business. We give out sanctions, and it's not always pretty, but they really they create that space. It's just really nice. Not all of our folks have graduated from high school, and so it's just a really special time that we can kind of make it special for them. So
I love it. I
yeah.
absolutely love it. And just those moments where we see some of them have their kids there and just, that's the thing. I may end up snapping a few pics myself because I just love those little candid shots of them with their kids and all those things. And I told Tom, I said, get a picture of the graduates as they get their certificate. But I said, get those things going on.
Yeah,
because you don't want to miss those moments.
My favorite
You know.
picture, we had a surprise proposal a couple of graduations ago, and my favorite picture is one of the other graduates' daughter is on the front row, and her face, she's going, watching it. It was the
Yeah.
sweetest thing. She's like
Uh-huh.
8 or 9, but she was just so tickled by it. But
It's so sweet.
the kids are
I
sweet.
just love it. They're so
So-
precious. It is just such a great thing. I just love it. Seeing those lives renewed.
Yeah.
And because I tell you, one of the funniest things is how they kind of talk smack at y'all, the both of y'all. Because they're like, I didn't like you when I first met y'all, but now I love you. And just seeing that transformation.
Yeah.
I hear that same kind of comment from Sean Elmore with Open Door because she has a lot of the same reactions when they
We
first
have a lot
come
of the same
in.
clients.
Yeah, you do. You do. Well, but that's what you need.
Absolutely. It's
It's the
wraparound services.
Yes,
100%.
Because it's like what Judge was talking about. You've got some that grew up in a home of addiction. They don't know
Yeah.
how to do checkbooks and
Yeah.
and do any kind of a budget. You get
Yeah.
money, you spend it.
Yeah.
You don't say for making sure you got your mortgage covered or your rent covered, and
Absolutely.
you just spend whatever comes into your hands.
Yep.
And you've got to be taught that you don't know how to parent because you were never parented.
Right. Right.
A lot of the times.
Yeah, no, those are, I mean, just what Judge was saying, those are tools that we've got to put in people's toolboxes. And
Yeah.
so you've got to get somebody sober first. And then if you just put them back right with their kids and they had no parenting skills, they had no, working through how to do parenting, you'd probably have somebody back using in no time because parenting is stressful and stress will be a trigger. And so we've got to kind of navigate that in the right way. But yeah, gosh, we love Open Door. Like, we're so thankful for them and all the help they provide.
So what are we missing? Because we've got, tell everybody what time to be there and that it's, you're invited, guys. You're invited. We'd love
free
for you to come.
lunch, lunch, come and just a wonderful time. And you will leave with your heart full. That's for sure. We'll start at noon. We ask everybody kind of be inside by 11:45, 11:50, and then we'll bless the food and get in line, get food, and then get started. So we usually start with the remembrance ceremony, and then we move into kind of opening things up. So
Love it. And the remembrance ceremony, you'll be invited to bring a candle to share because we all know somebody. We all know somebody. And to, share that light and just in that remembrance moment. And it is one of the most powerful things that you'll ever witness is seeing those lives and seeing those it moves me to tears every time. And you want to be a part of this, and then just to see the lives that have been restored with and you get to hear about their plans. I love it when they talk. Sometimes they won't. And one of my favorites was the woman who sang.
Oh, I know.
Wasn't that great? She just broke out in song. I was like, you go. It was so much fun. Do we have who is going to present this time? Do we have a speaker?
We do. Matt Eggleston is speaking for us. So he was our former public defender, and he's an attorney in Robertson County, and I think does some work in Sumner. But he's done a lot of work in the field, like in the addiction field. And so he's going to speak and I think tell a little bit of his story and just what his work has looked like. And so, yeah, it should be powerful.
Good. It'll give me, because I've been trying to get him in here on radio, and we just keep
grab him.
We had scheduled something, and he got sick, and so we couldn't get him in. But he's just a wonderful light to this because he's been on the journey himself.
Absolutely.
And when you can speak to that, and you have somebody that's working in the capacity that he is, then you just the experiences. It makes all the difference in the world. That's what we do at Celebrate Recovery. It's about testimony.
Yeah.
And when you hear somebody else's testimony and you're like, oh, okay. We all lean into the verse, confess your sins to each other so you can pray for each other and can be healed. People forget that sin is not what you've done. It's just the things that rob you of your peace that God wants you to live in.
Yeah.
And so it could be things you've done. It could be things that have been done to you. I heard there's a piece by Jeff Foxworthy, if you have never seen it, where he talks about going in and working in the homeless community. And he's like, I want to know your story. And somebody starts sharing with him their story. And it's a story of a family that were having problems, like a mother committed suicide, then a brother did, and then a father. Wow. And he ends up a meth addict. And Jeff was like, if I'd had that, I might do the same thing.
Yeah.
And so when you hear there's other people that are dealing with the things that you're dealing with, it changes you, and you're like, okay, if they did it, I can do it too.
Absolutely.
So that's why I'm so glad to hear him coming up and sharing his story, because this is somebody that's an attorney now.
Yeah.
Public defender. Is he still working as a public defender, or is he?
No, he's doing private practice now.
Okay.
So he loves recovery. He believes in it. And so we had him scheduled back months ago. And so I was like, you still doing it? He said he was. So, but
it's a powerful story.
He does.
I've heard bits and pieces.
He's got a really
of it.
powerful story.
He was on a panel one time.
Yes.
At one of the dinners.
Yes.
We had him as a speaker, because that was interesting too.
Yeah.
We've had so many. That's one thing. When you come to this, it's not just about celebrating the graduates. You're going to hear from people in the community that are going to share stories that are going to be impactful.
Absolutely.
That are going to kind of help guide you to, okay, what can I do? What can I do to make a difference?
Yeah.
Because there's something all of us can do to make a difference. So.
Oh gosh, yeah. We need volunteers all over the place. So come just
Come
be
and
moved and
yeah.
enjoy it and see where you can plug in.
Talk to me about Recovery Fest. Do you have any numbers on what we did?
Yeah,
at
we
Recovery
doubled
Fest? Did we
attendance.
double?
Yes,
Oh, I love it.
So exciting. So yeah, I mean, we doubled attendance. Just got resources out there and just saw people and loved on them, and it was a good time.
Yeah.
So I think everybody liked the later time, which I
It
did.
was a little cooler.
Yeah,
A
yeah.
little bit cooler. We'll take that any day of the week. But
Yeah.
do we already have a date for next year? Or
Yeah, I think
kind of working on that?
we're working on it. I think we do have something on the books. We were hoping to get a big headliner next year, so
Yeah.
we've got a little bit of flexibility.
Yeah. Jelly
with our
Roll's our
dates.
dream. You
I mean,
know?
he is.
Yeah.
He is the dream.
Well, when we
so-
first started talking about him 2 years ago, he was just breaking out.
Yeah.
And so it was one of those things.
That would have been the time to get it.
That would have been the time. Now it's like, yeah. Good luck. Good luck with
Yeah,
that, man. But I mean, we all just love us some Jelly Roll, man. He's just like, I mean, what a power. When you see people like that just come out so publicly about the journey they've been on,
Yeah.
how powerful is that?
Yeah.
It is just amazing.
Yep.
I mean, my husband, we were watching the performance between him and Brandon and
With the Dove Awards.
Oh.
Yeah.
and
It's good.
I'm like turning around and my husband's got tears coming out. I mean, like, it's that powerful.
Yeah.
When you
Yeah.
see that kind of power of a life restored, it's just
Yeah.
how can it not move you?
It's beautiful.
just
I know. I'm
beautiful.
really hating, which I think that's just how the enemy works. But how they're trying to start a little feud between Forrest Frank and Jelly Roll, and I'm like, stop, leave it alone, because Forrest Frank is my guy too.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
Yeah,
it's
and
like,
I think that's
no,
just the
there's no
forces of
beef.
evil out there
Yeah,
that just
that's
do that
it,
kind of
that's
stuff.
it.
Don't even go there, guys. Just well, and
Let
they
it
did
be.
the same thing with Forrest Frank and the guy who did Reckless. What is his name? He had the same thing.
Is that Corey Ashbury?
Yeah, Corey
yeah.
Ashbury. There was another little. There was
Oh, I don't
some
guess I
kind
caught
of
that one.
a thing going on there too, and
Yeah.
and they just said no, we're not going to, and
Yep,
they got their heads
yep.
together and worked it out.
I love
so,
that.
Yeah. So no.
Yep.
Just don't let it.
No
Well, what-
beef.
What are we missing, guys? We got plenty of time here. What else we need to talk
You
about?
mentioned one thing you mentioned was testimony, and
Yeah.
seeing testimony from folks who have made it in the industry is great. Well, one thing we do in recovery court, because we meet every 2 weeks,
Mm-hmm.
and we bring folks in, we talk about what's going great, we sanction what things that we have to. But one of the things that we do is when a person, and we celebrate however much time you have that's clean time,
Right.
and we applaud folks. When they
Drug
get-
and alcohol free time.
Drug and alcohol free. You always have to correct me on that. But when the person reaches their 1 year anniversary, we always let them know ahead of time. You're coming up on the year. You need to work on your little talk.
He'll tell them to get their speech ready.
Get your speech ready.
Right.
But we do that to encourage those people to talk about what their life has been like in the change,
Yeah.
but also to encourage the people that are brand new in the program to see, hey, I'm maybe struggling right now, but a year down the road, I could be looking like that.
Or a lot of times they'll look over at people who are in jail who have come out, because he'll bring the folks who are coming out to like be considered for the program. So they'll be over on the side there, and they'll get to hear this person give their 1 year speech, and they're sitting in their orange jumpsuit still, getting ready
Yeah.
getting ready day one. So that's a pretty powerful place to
You
be in,
better
and hear
believe
somebody
it is.
1 year in. So
Because we have folks, that have been in for a while, that are now sponsoring people that are new into recovery, and that's just the whole idea of giving back.
Yep.
Is
Well,
part of the process.
But and it's so funny because everything you're talking about is some of the things that we lay out in the processes of Celebrate Recovery. Because as you get through, we have like 25 lessons, and one of the lessons in the latter part of the program is about that you stay on the path of recovery by giving
by
back.
giving it away.
That's one
Mhm.
of the most
Yep.
important aspects of it. And
Yep.
two, like you said, you get that 1 year mark when we hand out chips and coins, because we have the plastic chips we go for the first year, and then you start getting the metal.
Yeah.
Every year you get a metal coin.
Yeah.
And when you hand out those metal coins, one of the first questions that comes from the body there is, how'd you do it?
Yeah.
How'd you do it? You got
Yeah.
to answer that question. And so I love that these things work.
Yeah.
That's why you see them echoed in all these different programs.
Yep.
They work. When you share your story, it makes a difference. It works.
Yeah.
And you got, man, we got to talk about stuff, guys. We got to get out there and share this
Yeah.
stuff. And that's why come to if you're in on fall break and you've got some time off on Thursday, come have lunch with us and come be a part of Recovery Court. It will change you forever. I'm so excited to have Tom come in because
That's
he's gonna
awesome.
be one that's gonna be like we're gonna be both getting subs to come.
I
You know,
love
and
it.
some of my kids still some of my the kids that came when I brought them a couple of years
Yeah.
ago. They're like, we want to go back, and I said,
love
well, it's fall
that.
break, so maybe if you be my older kids in the spring, if you're,
Yeah.
we're not going to be taking a bus and all that kind of. I don't ever want to have that happen again, where it's in the middle of it. That still makes me just. But but again, I say that escalated us to do the remembrance
Yeah.
in the fall, and we're still working on trying to figure out where to put that
I
again.
know. I love that.
We're going to do it again. I've got kids wanting to do it.
Yeah.
They want to do this stuff because they've dealt with the hard stuff.
Oh, yeah.
We've dealt with
Yeah.
suicide and things like that. We have kids that parents that have
Oh my gosh.
lost parents.
I will never forget
You
a
know?
kid came up to me whose parent had been in the program and he passed. He overdosed, but the kid was just like, "Hey, do you know me?" And I was like, "Yeah, you look just like your parent." And
Yeah.
he was just like, I'm okay." He's like, "I'm really thankful for that time I got with him." And I was just like,
Wow.
I gotta go.
Oh my
Like,
gosh.
it
Because
was
it was time he wouldn't have had.
Oh,
if they had.
absolutely,
Isn't that amazing?
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So
That's incredible. Because
Yeah.
it's just like I was asking Judge, I said, do we see that things are getting better? And I think like what your answer was, that from the addiction perspective, we've got more treatment, but unfortunately we're dealing with this nasty fentanyl poison that's in stuff. And
Yeah.
that's why I tell kids all the time. I said, I grew up in the 60s and 70s. It's not the same.
Yeah.
It's not
Well,
the same.
you've got fentanyl, and then you've got every other kind of street drug that's coming up, that's
Yeah.
popping up, that and
Yeah.
stuff that's at gas stations and little stores that people think they can buy, and that it's okay. And the problem with that is, and we have mental health court, which for so many
Yes, yeah.
people, you have to understand with a situation with somebody with a dual diagnosis, you can't just smoke marijuana. You can't just go get Delta 8. That will affect you. That will affect your mental health. And even for our folks who their mental health seems to be okay, you're still dealing with some stuff if you are somebody who's in recovery from substance use disorder. So you can't go to the gas station and drink the little drinks and get the little things behind the counter. So, we've got that in all of our rules that, you have to ask permission before you consume something that you don't know what's in it, or if you're unsure. So, it's just, it's still scary out there. I think we definitely think Judge is right. We do. We've got lots of treatment, got lots of meetings, got lots of resources for people. It's a matter of plugging people into that stuff, but then it's still, it's still a problem that we're all working to try to beat it, try to get there.
And Megan mentioned marijuana, and we're in this place in this country now that a lot of places are legalizing marijuana or having the medical marijuana, and it's becoming more acceptable. But the marijuana of today is not the Cheech and Chong marijuana of the 60s and 70s, where back in the day it was, 3 or 4% potency, and now it's, 80, to 90%.
Yeah.
And it really is. There's studies that are showing that this is causing psychosis.
Yeah.
The younger you
So
start, the
much
more
psychosis.
you see, places like New York where it's been legalized and people just smoke all day long. And then you wonder why there's so much, subway crime. And, prosecutions of marijuana are going down because, what are we, can we prove it's marijuana or it's the, Delta 8? But it is a real problem. And at some point in time, the judicial system is going to have to catch up to realize, this, when I was a kid, they would say, oh, it's marijuana, it's not addictive. Yeah, that's not the case anymore. And people are really losing their minds with the marijuana that's being used. And I know I sound, and I am an old fuddy-duddy, I'm at that age.
You're absolutely right, though. I'm an old fuddy-duddy right with you, and you're absolutely right.
Really it's a serious issue that's kind of like under the radar.
Yep.
The vapes that are being produced, the Chinese vapes that are coming in are devastating for folks. The Chinese are not our friends when it comes to drugs.
Yeah.
Between the precursors for fentanyl and methamphetamine, The vapes are coming in. They just as soon destroy us from the inside rather than from the outside. And that's what their
trying to
motivation
do.
is.
Yeah. Well, Recovery Court graduation, it's time again. We do
Yes.
it twice a year. We'll do one in the spring as well, but this one's coming up this Thursday. You are invited to join us. I will see you there. Get there about 1:45.
Yeah.
Have some dinner.
So you can get some
And-
tacos.
Yes, absolutely. And it's just a wonderful time. It will inspire you. It absolutely will inspire you. And so excited to hear from Matt, too. That'll be great to hear his story.
He's got a powerful story.
So it's going to be awesome and get to celebrate 4 that are new life. And I just can't wait to see their families applaud them. And again, thank you, Tom, for coming out and helping with
Yes,
that.
thank
And,
you.
we appreciate it. Love you guys. I'll see you there
Thanks,
Thursday.
LaVern.
And thank you guys for joining us. I've got to, to be on fall break, I have an awful busy world right now, but that's okay. It's all good. I couldn't function any other way. Thank you guys for joining us. Tomorrow we'll be hearing from Ron Martin because they have the mayor and alderman meeting tonight. So we'll hear from Ryan tomorrow, and I hope you'll be a part of it. This is 1100 WSGI. God bless. Have a wonderful day.
Ride that glory train.